In this one, former professional cricketer Ben Scott gives some strength and conditioning exercises to become a better fielder in cricket. Let's go.
Okay, I'm just going to go through a couple of fielding drills now. The first one I want to talk about is how important it is to have a stable shoulder. Now, obviously, when it comes to throwing, when it comes to just moving and landing on your shoulder quite often when you're in the field, it's really important that we have all of this, or this system certainly warmed up, but also strong enough to be able to throw and react to a ball. The first one is just simply moving the ball in the joint through various ranges. Okay, so here we're going to go forwards and backwards. The backwards one being probably the most important part of that movement. Okay, so now if you notice, I'm almost keeping my elbow in space, all right? So my elbow's not moving, as if I've got a pole that goes through my body. Here, my shoulder doesn't come up or down. What I'm looking to do is get the shoulder joint to roll through here. Now you may notice that actually it's my back, my scapula that's dragging down, that's getting me into that shape here. So you may be able to see in my t-shirt, if I pull it nice and tight, that the shoulder blade's actually tucking under as I do that. So that's forward and backwards. We can then do a very similar movement from here, keeping your elbow tucked in nice and tight. And again, we're just encouraging that shoulder to move through some ranges. Through there. If we get into a bent over position now, from here, just going to take the arm, retract the arm through there, pull it up, making sure that our lower back's nice and strong, our hamstrings and our glutes are holding us in this position without causing any sort of pressure through our lower back, and we're retracting the arm there. And again, the shoulder blade's doing a lot of work in rotating at the back to facilitate where the shoulder moves. Okay, as a fielder, we need to be quite dynamic and also reactive to the ball, all right? So what I want to talk about now is the type of position we get into to accelerate towards the ball. So this will make sense in a second. So let's say we're fielding at gully or in the covers or wherever we are, and we're walking in, all right? We're walking in, but at the moment that the batsman's about to make a shape, we anticipate, all right? So if we feel that the ball's coming towards us, more often than not, we'll stop dead into this position. So we've still got that inertia, we've still got that movement coming forwards, but now we drop onto our toes, and where do we go from here? Okay, what kind of shapes do we want to make? Quite often, it's one way or the other, all right? So when we drop into here, which leg do we actually want to move next? Quite often we see people, they drop, and then if the ball goes that way, their first movement is with this outside leg. Now what that does is it actually opens up the stance and it slows us down. It's very difficult to have power from there because the next movement is quite difficult to make. There's no drive into that next movement, all right? So this drill that I want to give you is about which leg we use and how we can use the rotation of our body to actually accelerate into that direction. So what I'm gonna get you to do is some foot slams. So with this exercise, what we're going to do, and it will make sense in a second, as we land here, you're going to slam the opposite foot into the ground, like that. Now, hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. As I land, I turn over, and from this position here, there's a pillar there, but then I can actually accelerate to run forwards. All right, you'll see this in a lot of tennis players. Bang, they turn over to hit. With cricket, it's the same, okay? We need to accelerate into that movement. So as we land, this leg comes over and then we drive forward. So what is the drill? The drill is simply, we're gonna land, slam. Come back to the beginning, land, slam. Back to the beginning, land, and slam. Okay, and we'll do a handful that side, handful the other way. Now, if we do that, hopefully that will encourage that shape to become quite natural. So as we land, we chop the hip and then we can run and accelerate. Obviously, there's slight nuances to that. If the ball actually is coming at you in this position here, you may need to just make a big movement to grab it. But in general cases, it's about moving, getting yourself into a good position to accelerate and run after the ball. Okay, so quite simply, being in the field, as a wicketkeeper, I spent a lot of time on the floor. And as a fielder, you're going to spend a lot of time on the floor. So it's quite important that we are robust when it comes to our training and the way that we react to playing cricket. So one of the things we can do is start getting used to getting up off the floor, getting down, moving around, and those kind of things. If we're trying to think that we can avoid that, then we're playing the wrong sport. All right, so there's a couple of drills that we can do. Maybe try, if you're doing some fielding drills, start from the floor. So let's say someone's about to hit the ball out to you. Maybe we start just sitting down simply like this. All right, so you've got your coach who's about to hit the ball to you, and then from this position, it's about getting up and moving. All right, we can then make it even harder. We can do it from lying on our back. So all of a sudden, there's a lot of movement that needs to take place before we're up and we're moving towards the ball. As you can see, what that does, it gets the heart going, but also it just gets us used to where we're going to put our hands and also those kind of little micro movements that we need to make to get ourselves into good positions.
Be sure to check out Ben's training websites, link in the description below. Also, tap or click the end screen to watch the batting and bowling strength exercise videos I also filmed with Ben, and I cannot wait to see you over there.